All right, so the client care, like the directly helping people or assisting people with progressing their life and faith and health and all of this is something that the Republicans do very well, and it's more individual. So of course it's gonna be more structural. Like everything that Charlie did was on the mass scale, so he had to generalize. But when so the next step when that was supposed or the next step that would have been helpful was for, because you have to keep things in context, was for people to help him with his rhetoric, as well as he laid down the foundation very great, like very well. Like he kept things, the structure that you need, and then with my perspective, this gives you the practical sense of what a sinner joining the faith is going to endure, versus not versus but with his faith it was well knowledge and well, because like I have to get to where that is. So him speaking was opportunity for excuse me, us to look into the spirit of Christ, and the he did such a great job. So I want to highlight that the American public got through this year. I want to highlight that. You got through all of it. You got through all of the 15 years, 20 years, 40 years. You've gotten through all of this with bad leadership, with good leadership, with all types of stuff. So I want to highlight the fact that you guys are strong, and yeah, you guys are great people, and you should be proud of yourself. Now, this is where, now you see that these people are changing their tune now. All the, everyone's changing their tune because they were getting bad political backlash. Like, the VP is changing his tune now. Some celebrities are changing their tune now. The whole time, the VP was learning the things to say, because he was, I have it down here, he added wage growth to his speech. Since he's now like, oh, okay, I gotta go back on the right side because now I gotta change my stance, because he's been helping the Democrats behind behind the scenes, and they've been like encouraging all the rebellion. So I got a lot of notes. They're changing their tunes, and now they're claiming that this is they created some chaos in order to become the savior. So they're claiming like this whole thing is like is appropriate when it's really unacceptable. They engage in the experiment with the American public, and it's unacceptable. So you can tell that the lady before the VP went up there was like, he's the VP. She stated that the VP was the embodiment of hard working and stuff, and she couldn't even say it confidently because it's a lie, because he doesn't work hard. Or I'm not gonna say he doesn't work hard, but he wasn't working hard for all of America. He was definitely trying to alienate the MAGA base. and you see Marco, you can see Rubio and Marco. You can see Rubio and Hegseth and all of the everyone engaging in actual progression. Well, this whole year he's been engaging in uh, counterproductive measures in order for against the thing that Trump run on. So when Sneeko said that Trump hasn't changed his script and he's been saying the same thing like he's been campaigning, and that's because he's that's real. Like he ain't changed, he ain't switched nothing up. Versus the VP, now he's adding stuff. I told you in the beginning that he was trying to learn how to be a Republican. But this brings full transparency, and the Republicans are transparent. This has been the most this year has been a landmark. A landmark. It's been monumental. It's been a landmark, and you guys didn't lose your cool through this year. The Republicans have been transparent this whole time, and it's great. So yeah, now the VP is angling himself against. He's separating himself and angling himself against Washington, DC. Like who is he talking about? It's the administration, the Republican parties, the Democrats. Like who specifically is Washington DC? You're just trying to put a us versus me them mentality when we're working with them to fix the system. But the Democrats, they definitely they broke the system, or not they're trying to break the system. You know the saying, if it ain't broke, don't if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, if their saying should be, if it's fixed, try to break it, because that's what they be doing. Facts. And yeah, during this whole year, nobody like through all this during this whole deception, it's been not helpful to the American public. They haven't been gotten any healthier. We had a whole shutdown because the VP ordered a hit on the Charlie, and they tried to say that it was the healthcare, and then stuff. It was coupled with that. So like this whole year they were battling against MAGAs and the Christian message to promote healthier individuals and stop drinking. That's why you have like people on the podcast drinking like what's his name? They were just promoting drinking, and the VP just promoted drinking and said that they're having a good time, which doesn't help with healthcare. And that's what our whole problem is. Our whole problem is like, if you're gonna be healthy, then stop drinking, stop eating bad food, stop doing all this stuff. Like, it's possible, and you have to get more engaged. But this whole year they've been trying to promote AI. That's why. Let me continue. But yeah, so this whole deception is by them. So when we put the VP behind bars, it's gonna help with the with the it's gonna help us be more confident in our government, that it won't be any government overreach, because like that was insane. You have a murderous lawyer in office right now as a VP, and that's not a good combination. Like that's why he said it ain't that hard, because he was trying to tell the Democrats that, because the Democrats get away with culturally killing people and winning off, like alienating people, and he wanted to be an example, but he's with the Democrats low key. So he was saying it's not that hard, trying to say like he's against the Democrats, but he's not against the Democrats. Are you keeping up? So they want to hide all the truth, which doesn't solve and doesn't help us and doesn't help with any trust in the system, build any trust with the system. And he said trust. The VP said to trust him, all the trust we put in him, and it's like, no, we don't put the trust in man. We don't put the trust in man because he's trying to set up for politics. He's playing politics, and so is the Democrats. Like, you see Kamala, like, I love Garmon, but she be lying. Like, she up there lying. So, yeah, we gotta get the VP behind bars. I can't even entertain what Kamala be saying. Because it'd be like, you said the rule of law, but you knew that y'all pretending like JD ain't do that for y'all respect. So yeah, they trying to solve a problem that they created, and they would have gotten away with it unless I went public. That's why I went public, and that's why I'm here now. They're all playing politics. So they're trying to say that it's a revival. What the revival was when Charlie was getting mass people, just getting them to open their eyes to stuff, and it was beginning to become a revival. But now they just forced a emotional reaction to to give people a empathetic relationship rather than a triumphant relationship with America. So that's like me saying, oh, that's like me bombing. That is like, and this, I'm putting this as a hypothetical. That's like me bombing a city in America and then be like, you see how that feels? Like, now, like, you see how that feels? But so you don't want to justify what they've just let happen in America, or what they just demonstrated in front of the American public. Like, because it's like, if I bomb you and then be like, you see how I feel, do you get it now? And it's like, that's so unnecessary when we were already Charlie was doing a great job with getting people there, and they just had to help them, but they had hate in their heart against the system and the MAGA base. So this is critical. This is critical because this point is critical. Is politically motivated. All of that was politically motivated. That's why you have the person that came up before JD, the man. He was saying like something about local. Like, they're trying to make it seem like I'm turning my back on my local community back home, when my local community turned their back on me because they're all Democrats, and we all know how they treated a MAGA person. Like, we all know, like, back in how everything came about. So this is the very reason why he shouldn't be in office, is because this past weekend, all of these terrorist attacks, basically, that's why Charlie's death got weaponized. That's exactly what I said in the beginning of when this happened. I'm saying this led to us very vulnerable in our national security, because everything is confusion. Like, it builds confusion. Like, we don't know who just killed the Hollywood person. Like, well, we know who, but like, all of this is connected. It's been connected this whole time. So it's been death and death and death, just murder. And that's why he shouldn't be in office, because he's pretending like nothing's going wrong with his he's pretending like nothing's going none of this is going on behind the scenes. And he said that he's a gentleman and he let his wife walk down the steps first. But I know what he doing. Like he walked and then he walked in front of her and then he's not embracing her or showing her any attention. And then he's gonna while I'm saying this, he's gonna come out and be like, it was just he was busy or something. When when he knows what he's doing. He's punishing her. I have that written down. Yeah. He's punishing her for not being not falling for his antics. That's why he keeps saying we got 3 children, because he's trying to he's literally torturing her with the kids, and it's so messed up. And he's the person that forgot who he served. So he's trying to flip the script now. Like now he's like, everything that he's saying is projection. Like he's saying, like, look in the mirror, like that he should look in the mirror. He's projecting completely. And then he said plaster all over the news. He's appealing to the black community. Like if the black community would have been a VP and assassinated someone, it would have been all over the news. When it's like that was back in the day when we had that rhetoric, but now in 2025, like none of that is true. None of it's true, because Barack Obama, like I said in my song, Barack Obama is still running the nation. Like, I didn't say that because I was on Barack Obama's side. I said that because to point the fact out that he still be doing little stuff behind the scenes. And how did Hamas come about anyhow? And that's because of Barack Obama. Like, they were getting funded through our government by them. Because, our parents this whole time has been backdooring the system, all because of the slavery narrative, and they don't want to move on from that. That's why Dr. Umar just came on and was like, stay away from the snow bunnies. And it's like, you don't gotta stay away from the snow bunnies, and you don't he's saying, like, study all religions, trying to say that everybody's trying to push in that, like, America is a nation for free religion, and it's excuse me, and it's like the argument isn't that anymore, because we're obviously being infiltrated by too much freedom of religion. So the argument is, and I just proved that Christianity is the true religion. So he's just propagandizing and lying to the youth. And they're still trying to say that trying to push people away from the white man. So I say whatever I would say behind the scenes, I would say to everybody right now, like, it don't matter. Like, I'll say, like, they don't understand our lingo, and it's like, it's not for you to force your lingo onto someone. When we have English, we're learning English, so it's up for us to learn better English, and not for us to force our lingo onto them. Because, like, you say you want them to understand you, but you want to weaponize your lingo. So it's like you can't have your cake and eat it too. everything that I would say behind the scenes is what I would say to you on the camera, and I would say to everybody else. It's no faking. I don't talk behind people back, and obviously I've been so transparent and unhinged. I would say everything. Like I said, behind the scenes, they try to say that white people are mad, that or white men are mad because black men have bigger, what should I say, private parts, bigger private parts, when that's not the case, because everybody's seen those websites, so it's like everybody got the, like, come on, yo. So yeah, he said it ain't that hard to get away with. And he was referring to murder because of the what he just committed. And then the system is situational. The system is situational because you don't buy in. If you got half of your, that's why you don't want to always, like, that's why you like stand with the black culture right now. You have to wait until they're mature enough to understand that socialism is not going to work and that capitalism is the best system. That's why you don't want to marry into the black community right now, because all of them are still pushing for these fake narratives. That's not the reality in 2025. So they're not buying into the system. That's why it's situational, and that's why success is relative, because they don't want to buy in. Like, they don't want to be the servant. They just want to, because TikTok was the first time that everybody started outsourcing, and they outsourced to China, betraying the country, because China's obviously in competition with us before we spoke to President Xi. So black people started doing all this entrepreneur stuff, but then you see how Umar said that we don't have the discipline. So, like, yeah, you went and you got money, and then Mike Todd said money don't solve everything. Like, trying to tell me, like, I don't know. They said money don't solve everything, but they run and try and go get money, but haven't developed the discipline to control the money and the power and the everything. This is a perfect example of the VP because of his background. Like he's so upset with how the way that he was brought up, that he didn't do the right thing in the right when he had the time to do the right thing, because you have a split second to say yes or no to your flesh, and you don't do it 99% of the time, and then that 1% you do something bad, or you commit a murder, and then, like, when you're supposed to be 100% of the time good, when you're in these positions, especially, like, even as a citizen, but, like, when you're in these positions, you're supposed to do the right thing 100% of the time. And it's not hard to not go with a murder plot to do assassination, and then, you understand? So now he wants to say that it's simple economics, when he's been having everybody promote AI this whole time. That's why Dr. Umar just said that he wants to promote he's promoting he told the kid to promote AI and stuff, and they're promoting AI, and they don't even know how AI is going to be useful for a physical reality, or, like, you understand, like, you don't even know what's going to come about with AI. So you're promoting so much that you don't even know, when you should be telling the children to be doing trades and all of the sorts of things. But because Jasmine Crockett be like, we're done picking cotton, and it's like, yo, you're done picking cotton. Like, hey, if I want to start a cotton business, like, let me start a cotton business. Like, let me work my farm. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, don't be listening to them. Gen Z, we've always wanted to have our own garden and build our own things, but it's them it's that them, the older generation, that they want to do this work. They don't want to do this work, and it's very simple work, and that's the thing. So now they're trying to come back and be like, oh, well, and trying to say stuff when it's like, no, you didn't understand the mission. You didn't understand the Bible. You didn't understand putting in the hard work. You guys promoted designer stuff and all this stuff, and now that we want to we won't come to the realization that, oh, okay, boom, let me just get my hands dirty and feed myself. Now y'all want to start come on, go be like hardworking Americans. Lying, and that's why I'm like, y'all be lying. So like, it's hard to respect and have respect because y'all be lying. All it is that it takes time for the system to work. So accountability is gonna go for the VP, and then once he get accountability, once the accountability happens with them, I expect change from you guys, and you should be changing already. You should be getting down in the dirt already. And that's not saying that to be helping the homeless and stuff, because you're not doing that. That's saying to learn how to be hands on in these processes, CCs. So yeah. And then he gonna say Charlie wasn't able to do it. He said Biden was able to do the job, but it was really Charlie that he was implying. When Charlie did a fantastic job and he overdid it. So yeah, that's all for today. He wants to get you guys all emotional, but about the holidays and stuff. When like, yeah, we're about to have a great holiday, great holiday, or Christmas, Christmas. But this is the clarity, and I don't want you. I want you guys to not be conflicted when you're thinking about this stuff and having your little side conversations at home. I need you to know the whole story and the reality of the situation. He only know how to talk good, and that's why he was jealous, because we can be skilled workers, and I can sell as well, and I can still go do 10 years when I turn 30 and become a lawyer and still do a better job. So that's jealousy. That's jealousy. When that's the position that I'm trying to get the youth to where they're doing 20 to 30 and they're hands on using their body and staying active and not just sitting down in the office. A good amount of the youth to do this, and then they can go into these positions because they really know what it is to turn a wrench and do welding, do the transmissions on cars, do all of the trim work on houses, do the landscaping, and then we can really understand. They can understand the wildlife and the wildlife and the nature and the American system and all of the movies that we watched in the past, of the not even the black and white movies, and the American society and the system and the American dream that that our ancestors, black and white, have been building for us to have a better life, you know, like the 1900 movies and the 1800 whatever histories, and from all of it. Like, we want to see the good part of it and not be jealous with and not have a jealous eye towards the 1950s white society and all of this. You understand? That's what they're trying to not promote. They wanted to promote music and celebrityism so bad, rather than just giving the everyday person a chance to understand the beauty behind America and why America has been so great and prosperous, and why we are the example of the world to create peace around the world. Have a great day.